Hello everybody and welcome back to Tlatoani, where we are currently very, very close to finishing up this particular city. Things are going well for us. We're just cruising right along here. We've got very little at this point that we need to do other than get our prosperity up, and our prosperity just dropped a little bit, so that's exciting. What do we got going on out over here? A home closer to their place of work. I mean, yeah. That's not very surprising. We could potentially put some homes up over here, actually. That might help that a little bit. So if we were to put in homes here, 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 and then like here, here, and maybe like off over here, that will potentially help that by getting people to move out of homes like this and into homes like this, where there are potentially jobs for them to do. So that'll be absolutely fine. These will need to get upgraded. It needs access to a market. I mean, there's one right here. You've got access to a market. We're providing pottery. We're not providing pulp at this moment. And I'm not sure if we're going to need to, is the thing. We'll see. We will see. Interesting how our chili is so much higher than our fruit, even though our production should be identical on both. Maybe fruit trees just grow a lot less quickly than chili. That's a possibility. But for the time being, things are looking reasonably good here. Some of our masons are lacking stone, and how is our stone deficit at this moment? About 200 and continuing to decline? Okay. So we're mostly just waiting out that stone being delivered. And yeah, our finances are not necessarily the best in the world right now, but as we get more of these trading posts online, which this one is currently importing stone, that one's not going to make a lot of money for us. In fact, it's going to cost a lot of money. But we've got these trading posts down here coming online, and that is reasonably fine. They will help offset that, hopefully. So, we're at 47 out of 60. This is probably due to these houses not being upgraded, although we're seeing they're already beginning to upgrade. So that looks good. We've got this house upgraded. These homes have everything they need for the moment. So we just need to wait for them to upgrade. Seems good. Out over here, yeah, they want more civil service. I mean, we've got a collector going in here. We just need stone for that. So we're really, really just waiting for stone. 172 stone is our current deficit. So that seems much better. I'm wondering about if we have, like, stone down over here. The answer is no, we don't. So that's absolutely fine for now. Eventually, we'll get all of this stone up here built. Like, there's a lot over here that we need. This is more than what it's saying, isn't it? This is saying our construction cost is 172 stone. But we can see that this is 100, 150, and 130. These three alone are more than that 170 marker. So maybe that's not entirely accurate. Okay. Well, these homes have all upgraded, and now they want more civil service, and religion. I mean, all of that is queued up out over here. All we need at this point is for that stone to come in, which we do have stone on the way. We can see that we've got some stone in this porter yard right now, and we're importing it from two different porter yards, or rather two different trading posts at this point. So where are these guys? Arriving in 20 days, and this is arriving in 5 days. So we've got 2 shipments of stone about to arrive here. There we go. That stone is in the trading post, and it's gone. Here comes another shipment, I think. I never even saw it appear here. It may or not have gone to this trading post. Yeah, I think it moved right on past. We'll be arriving here with the next shipment of stone very shortly, regardless. Stone is clearly what we need more than anything. Very, very clearly. So we're running a good surplus at this point, and did these guys come back? Okay, they're arriving in 8 days. Sure. They should be on their way in. This should be them. Actually, that's profit. That's not them. Is this them? That's profit. That's not them. That's profit. Nope. That's them. 916 loss. So that looks good. As we can see, we are currently net negative, but that's okay. And I never saw the stone pop in over here, but there's definitely stone around. So let's see how we're doing up over here. Have we managed to build any of these structures? Actually, yes. This collector is now done, as is this shrine to Tlaloc. This shrine to Jipe Totek, not done, but it needs 9 stone at this point. We need 50 stone for this collector, 33, 107, 50, 42, and 50. And then an additional 30. So we definitely need to bring in more stone. That's very clear. Our prosperity is up to 52. That's good. And we're continuing to beat up bandits very regularly. I feel like we could actually even have additional exports, although I'm noticing that this trading post and this trading post is not filling. Our fish trading posts absolutely are filling. This one's actually not quite full. 422 out of 480. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll see if these fill up. And this one is actually not full either. I think we might be at about capacity as far as our exports go. We might not be producing enough resources to do additional exports. So I'm going to do additional exports. We're going to have a... I know that was quite a pivot. We're going to do one here, and one here. And this is going to be fish, so we're going to have this be going... Do we have to send the fish to the capital? Where's the fish going? Okay. Fish is going here. Yeah. So this is going to be fish. This is going to be salt, I think. Yep, that's going to be salt. And then this one is going to be our cotton. There we go. In theory, if I've diagnosed this correctly, we should not have enough production to be able to fully run all of these trading posts. That's okay. That is absolutely fine. So I do think more housing down over here to help run these does make sense. So we can put a house in here. This is kind of beachfront property down over here, but we can't actually build on the beach. So we can put a single house here, and then I'm thinking a house here and a house here. And that's it for now. Will these reach that market? Yes, they will. And this will reach the market as well. Okay, good. So we shouldn't need to do too much for services in these areas. We'll just get those online, and this will be citizens hopefully able to live closer to their place of employment, which would be absolutely ideal. Now, we could make more salt production. There's absolutely nothing preventing us from making more salt than this. We'll see if that becomes an issue, though. Long trip times for workers are a problem, yeah. I wish we had a map mode here. Oh, we do. Trip times. Well, that's convenient. I don't recall seeing this before, but we can definitely see trip times out over here are a bit rough. Out over here. Mostly it's up here, though, and that makes a lot of sense. There's also some trip times down over here and down over here, but I'm thinking that maybe if we just put in some housing right up over here, this should be able to reach the market that's over here. And that'll be closer to their place of employment for people who work out over here, right? So we'll get some of those homes built. And we'll see what they need. They need access to a market, but they should have access to this market here, which is intensive in its service usage, to be clear. But okay, we'll get that going in. That seems good for now. And we should have basically all of this up here built very soon. We need 9 stone here. This is done. Okay, so all we need to put in here is this shrine to Jipe Totek, and that should be done very, very soon. Cloth up over this direction. Yeah, that's fine. We can be getting some cloth up over here. I don't know if we actually have... This is clearly being provided by this porter yard. Okay, so this market doesn't reach the porter yard. It's 1 tile away. But this porter yard is clearly reaching the market because we're providing timber and pottery to it. But we do have a demand for cloth up over here. So we need to head over here to this porter yard as well and be getting cloth there. Now, our cloth weavers are not very numerous, and they need megui, correct? I'm wondering about our cloth production right now. Where is our cloth production? I don't see our cloth weavers at this moment. I think we have 2 of them. Up over here. Okay. So the belief currently is... yeah, they take in megui, and we are importing that from the capital, and I think we have to. But let's bump up our megui import from the capital, and let's put in an additional pair of cloth weavers. I suspect we don't have enough here. I'm actually putting in 3. So we'll boost that up. Do these require stone? No. Really, guys? Why did you trap yourselves there? Let's delete this one. Let yourselves out. And now we'll put in a cloth weaver here. We're not going to be able to access this area, but that's fine. Okay, so there we go. Now we'll have additional cloth production. There's a fire in the city, whatever. That's absolutely okay. That's down over here, and that's all dealt with. So that looks good. A home closer to their place of work. This home needs access to more healthcare. So we've got a dentist right here. That's in intensive usage. We've got a sauna right here. We've got an herbalist up over here, and that's actually reaching it too. It needs herbs, to be fair. This gardener is at 11 out of 30. Let's expand that out a little bit. So we're going to need to have some small gardens to provide more herbs. So that's going to be 15. We can put in some additional herbs up here. That's at 22. And then we can do a couple of spaces out over here, right? So I don't want to cut that tree necessarily. But that's 30 out of 30. So this gardener is now producing more herbs. And we'll get that going. So that will hopefully give us a little bit more for this herbalist to utilize. It's the idea, anyway. Some of our security venues are overstretched. So let's take a look at the security here. So crime and vice. This guy out over here. Okay. Sure. So in that case, we can absolutely put a sentry post about here, and that'll reach up to that cottage. So that seems fine. We'll get that in there. We've got a sentry post here, and that reaches this cottage, but it doesn't reach this one, awkwardly enough. So that's absolutely fine. At this point, we're looking good on our finances. I want to check down over here and see. Yeah, so we can see these have some goods, but they're not just completely jam-packed with goods the way that some of these other trading posts are. That's good. That means that we are in a state right now where we're not overproducing these materials. We definitely were previously. We'll keep an eye on these. If these 3 fill, then we'll build another one. But overall, that seems good. So we're at 52 out of 60 at this point. And let's see, is there a map mode here? Well, we could actually just take a look at our amenities. So this is our amenities map mode. We can see that we're lacking some religion out over this direction. We could definitely dry out some land over here and put in a shrine to like Jipe Totec over here. That's certainly something that we could do. Okay, let's take a look at education. This is probably a little more dire. So down over here, we have a lack of education. I'm not shocked about that one. Are we reaching here? We reached this house, but not these. Okay, that's noted. Where else do we have a potential lack of education? Up over here? We can do something about that one. So we can put in right up over here. There we go. What else do we have for education? Actually, it's looking good other than that. So this down over here is a little harder for us to reach. I'm thinking we could put in a education facility about here. And then run this road. I don't like this road run. I really, really don't. But we can't build here anyway. This is beach. So it's fine. We'll get that in there. What else do we need? Let's take a look at health. Okay, so we definitely have some strained facilities on our health. And out over this direction, this has reasonable access to healthcare. It's not great. We could consider putting a dentist in over this way, and that's probably not a bad idea. We do have an herbalist out here, I believe. Yeah, we've got an herbalist here. We could put an herbalist like here as well, but we've got this sauna. I think for the moment, I'm just going to put in a dentist. I'd love to put it like here. We need a scenic neighborhood though, and so it's going to have to go about here. We're not really going to be reaching up here, but it's okay. We could put in another dentist about there, and then we could put in one here, and then maybe like one here. Kind of like that. Herbs are going to be a bit of an issue, but for now, that looks okay. So back into our healthcare view. That will help our healthcare up over here. And for now, that's fine. Diversion. So we don't have a lot of diversion out over this way. We can absolutely put in an alcove over here, and that's a good idea. What else do we have? It's okay. Not the absolute worst in terms of diversion. I think an alcove right here does make sense, though. So let's do that if we can. Unfortunately, we can't. We could put it here, but that doesn't really help. We could put it here. I wonder if that would reach. Kinda. It reaches some of them anyway. Okay, so we're at 53 prosperity at this time. That's understood. Let's look at civil service. Okay. We could definitely use some collectors. So a collector down over here would be good. I'd love to put one in out over this way. We could actually put it here in a kind of weird position. That would achieve this area. And then out over here, we could put a collector about here and run the road out like this. Like that. So that'll help this area. Now then, up over here, apparently we want a collector for the House of Song. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and put one in up over this direction. I'd like to put it about here. That's going to harvest from the House of Song and also these fishing wharves that are showing up as not having been visited recently. Out over this direction, this tax collector is strained, and so we really should have another one in here. This is actually a great spot to do it. So let's do that. Up over this direction. I'm wondering if we could fit one right here. Yes. Okay. Up over this way, we could use a tax collector as well. That would be potentially here or here. This requires a scenic neighborhood, but we could put it in here. So that seems good. That'll reach a lot of that area. And it'll reach up over here too. So this dentist was recently built. I think that is reached. So that's not really a problem. Out over here shouldn't be an issue necessarily either. This tax collector is a little strained. But overall, that should be reasonable. Okay, so service use here, we can see what is strained and what isn't. That's understood. So we'll continue to work on that for now. We're at 53 out of 60 prosperity at this moment. Really all we need, I feel like, is to get what we have built and address any strained issues. Like this dentist here is currently strained. We could put another dentist in perhaps down over here to help relieve that strain. So that would be somewhere around here or so, or down here. Yeah, let's do that. So that looks good. We'll get that in there. And what else are we seeing reporting strain? Well, this sweeper is reporting strain. I think an additional sweeper right down here. I really want to put it back in here, but we're gonna have bad tiles here no matter what we do. I'm going to put it in like this, but it's definitely not ideal. We're just going to kind of tuck it back in there. And it'll reach some of these and hopefully reduce the strain on that. Now, this well dipper up over here, this is its service area. I'm thinking we extend this road out and we put an additional well dipper right up over here. Something like that. Okay, so that seems fine. This well dipper is strained. We can put another one in right down over here. And we've got a little bit of space here that is not being utilized, but that's okay for now. What else are we seeing reporting strains? Well, this well dipper here is, and we could put another one somewhere, but where? Down here maybe, but we'd have a hard time getting a road to it. We could put it just right down over here, I suppose. Oh, I just accidentally tabbed out of the game. That is not what I intended to do. Hopefully OBS is not broken. It is not broken. Okay, good. We can run a stone road down like this, and then we can see about adding a well dipper, perhaps right up over here-ish. Well, this one is not currently reporting that it's strained. I'm actually thinking maybe over here, because we do have this well dipper down here, and that's a bit of a concern. So I'm going to put in this guy right here. Okay. Bandits continue to be beaten. No shockers there. Let's check in on this. It looks like these are slowly filling. Okay. I'm also thinking that we probably need a mason yard down over this direction. So I'm going to put one in right up over here, like that. And then I'd like to get 3 more trading posts down over here. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And then we'll run our road out, something kind of like that. Okay, now these trading posts are going to be going here and exporting fish. This one is going to be exporting cotton. And this one is going to be exporting salt. There we go. Because we're seeing all of these are somewhat filling. Not entirely, but somewhat. I want to get to the point where we're actually draining down on the number of on the number of full trading posts. So that's absolutely fine for now. We're at 55 out of 60 prosperity at this moment. And that, of course, means that we're really, really, really close to getting this city done. We're not quite there yet. We're seeing that this sentry post is reporting a strain, so I want to put in an additional sentry post. We can put it in up over here to help relieve some of that strain. This sweeper was also reporting a strain. I think we can put in an additional sweeper up here to help with that. Yeah, that'll be fine. We also could have put it here, which wouldn't have been a bad place to put it. Okay. So we're up to 56 out of 60 now, and as these trading posts down here start to come online, we are going to see that we have a lot of additional money coming in. We're quite positive financially right now, even with our expanded imports, and that seems absolutely great. I'm going to take a stone road up over here, just because I feel like that would look a little bit better. Not that aesthetics is really our overall goal here, as you can tell by the fact that this exists. Just the city in general. We're going for a more organic feel. So prosperity is chilling, but I'm wondering here, cloth out over here. This porter yard is not currently getting cloth. It should be. Okay, so there's that addressed. Clean water in order to upgrade this further. I don't think we actually need to handle the clean water issue. This porter yard is full, and this market is servicing down over here. Are you getting cloth? Yes, you are, but you don't have any there. I'm wondering if we're getting enough megui to be productive, and apparently the answer to that is yes for the moment. So that is fine. We'll just continue to produce cloth and get our prosperity up. So up over this direction, they want to work closer to their place of employment. And there's also potentially some diversion issues over here. We could think about maybe a plaza up over here. But there's not too much else that we could really do. It's not good symmetry. Yeah, I don't know about that. This alcove is strained, so maybe if we just put in another alcove over this direction, maybe even over here. Yeah, I'm going to put it in over here. Maybe that would solve the problem. We'll see. What do we got going up here? No complaints. That's a fancy cottage. Okay. So that's absolutely fine for right now. Checking in up over here. These are all looking good for the moment. Yeah, that seems relatively fine. So our prosperity is at 53 out of 60, and I think that what we really need right now is to just boost up our income. I think that's the biggest thing that we need here. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to try to find issues that is keeping back our prosperity. What are we actually short on here? Destitution is minus 2%. Our elite housing, though. Okay, fair enough. We've done almost no effort on our elite housing. Furniture. Okay, that's something we can tackle next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Rornaz, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.